This wasn't supposed to happen. This was supposed to be all about Uconn. Before the game, they celebrated the 10 and 20 year anniversary of their championships. They brought all the legends. They had Diana, Sue Bird, Brianna Stewart, and whoever else you can think of. They had 23 players total. 23. Michael Jordan was the only thing that could have saved them from what was about to happen. They were super excited before the game, then left in shock. I can tell the commentators were salty because they were doing all this Uconn hype before the game, but during the game they were talking about everything else. The real reason Uconn lost this game is because they disrespected Notre Dame. You schedule an arch rival for alumni night, a homecoming event. That's crazy. On a night like this, you schedule some cupcake. Maybe they viewed Notre Dame as a cupcake. I don't know. I guess they thought they were safe because Olivia Miles wouldn't be able to play this season. But when Hidalgo is on the other side, there's no such thing as being safe. She was the best player on either team that night, and it wasn't close. 34 points, 58% from the field, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. I'm so happy for Hidalgo. She did this on prime time. Despite all she's done this season, there were still doubters. At this point, anyone doubting Hidalgo's ability is just coping. It doesn't matter that she's a freshman. She's already one of the best players in college basketball. The stats show it, and she's proven to do it against the best competition. She played well against Uconn. She played well against the best team in the country, South Carolina, and she's been cooking the ACC. But here's the thing, this game was not an upset. Uconn lost to the better team. What happened Saturday is why I said Notre Dame was a top 5 team about a month ago, which to be fair, I can't say that right now. But the reason I said that is because what we saw Saturday is what I thought we would be seeing a lot earlier, because they have the talent to be that. Admittedly, Notre Dame is my favorite team. I'm going to be transparent about that. But I would say everything I'm saying, even if they weren't. Uconn at home is a different animal. They haven't lost at home before this game, and they probably won't lose at home again this season. They blew out Louisville and destroyed North Carolina, who are good teams. Notre Dame right now has the largest margin of victory over Uconn. Well, to be fair, it will be the second largest after they play South Carolina. That doesn't just happen by accident. This wasn't a fluke. This is what is supposed to happen, not the nonsense that happened when they got blown out by Syracuse. This happened because of Notre Dame's big three, Hannah Hidalgo, Westbeld, and Sonia Citron. If you made a list of the top 10 players in the ACC, they would all be on it. It starts with Hannah Hidalgo. Neil Ivey hit the jackpot with Hannah Hidalgo. She's at worst a top 2 freshman, but more than that, she's the perfect fit. Notre Dame had no point guard when Olivia went down. Hannah Hidalgo wasn't just good enough to replace Olivia, she has been exceptional. There's a select few players that, if you have them on your team, there's always a chance of winning the game. Hidalgo is one of those players. She's so dominant on both sides of the ball, the other team has to worry about her at all points of the game. There's not many people like that. Sonia Citron and Westbeld are just as important, because at the end of the day, Hidalgo can't do it by herself. There's not anyone in the country that can win by themselves. When Citron and Westbeld both show up, Notre Dame has been unstoppable this year. They are the veterans of the teams and made key plays when the team needed it. When Citron and Westbeld have a good game, this is usually when Hidalgo has her best games. This is because it takes the pressure off of her. The defense can't just double team her and build their entire coverage against Hidalgo. All three of them combined for over 70 points that game, and they have similar performances earlier in the season. It doesn't matter which players score what, but for Notre Dame to compete against top-tier teams, that's the kind of production they will need. Nat Marshall didn't have the craziest stat line, but she made plays when Notre Dame needed them. Sometimes making the right plays at the right time is more important than the kind of stats you put up. At the beginning of the season, I said Notre Dame could make the Final Four, even without Olivia Miles. I'm going to be honest, I can't say that. Not at this moment in time. They need to do more. If they play like they did against Uconn, they absolutely can. But I need to see them do that more often and more consistently. I think NC State is the best overall team in the ACC right now. So, if Notre Dame beats them, I'll start having that conversation again. Notre Dame has a lot of great things going for them, but they also have flaws. They don't have the greatest depth, and the post defense is still suspect, but I don't think that's what will hold them back. I think Notre Dame's biggest enemy is having a next year mindset. It's so easy to look towards next year. and fantasize over what this team will look like with Olivia Miles back and adding Kate Koval, and not care about the results that happened this year. But I think that's a terrible mindset to have, not just for Notre Dame, but any team. The reason for this is because everyone outside of South Carolina has proven to be very beatable. We saw LSU lose to Auburn. We saw Colorado lose to Oregon State. In the ACC, there's an upset every week. This has been the most wide-open tournament I've seen. The parity this year has been on a completely different level than the years past. Any team with 3 or more major all-conference players should think they can make a deep playoff run, because they can. Uconn effed around and found out, and I don't think they will be the only ones. Right now, Notre Dame is projected to be a 6th seed in the tournament, despite being a top 10 team in net ranking. If they are actually crazy enough to do this, I can already tell you someone is going to get upset, and their fans will be upset because somebody is about to lose in their home gym. As always, thanks for watching. There will be more individual team videos soon.